Yeah.
It will be in a minute.
What?
It's live now.
We're
It's
live
live
now.
now. Okay, good evening and welcome to Apocalypse World, gentlemen.
Woo!
Woo! So,
Hooray, it's the apocalypse.
yay, you fucked up the world, or someone did anyway. All right, so what? Before we get really into it, this is a role-playing game that's a bit different to some of the others that I've played with many of you. This one is very much at the role-play end of the spectrum compared to some of the other ones we've played. There's not a lot of underpinnings to it. There's a few. My role as the MC, which is the Apocalypse World word for GM, is a bit different. I won't be sitting here with a full campaign full of nasties. I won't be sitting here with a campaign full of, with a book full of monsters or anything like that. It'll be a bit more direct how these things happen, and it'll also, I've got certain moves that I can pull as an MC that are a bit more prescribed than some of the things that happen in the other play. So, what we'll be doing is that we'll be doing character creation. I'll explain for as the way that these things will work. Rather than have a character sheet, you've all had a look at the playbooks. Those show pretty much everything that your character can do. They're all very much archetypes. A blank character sheet, it's a blank canvas. The other thing I'll say about this game is that it takes a little while to get used to. So it might take a couple of sessions before it all gels in your head, but that's okay too. Oh, and hello, our one viewer.
It's me.
Probably me opening.
No, it's me. Whoa.
Let's boost our numbers by continually opening windows of this.
That's right.
Use multiple browsers.
We'll put ads on it. We'll make millions.
Yeah.
Or at least tens. It was a line video. Okay. So what we'll before we get too heavily into character creation, I wanted to talk about a couple of things that are Apocalypse and about the game in general. So your job will be to play your characters as though they were real people in their circumstances. They're cool, they're competent, they're dangerous people. They're larger than life people, of course, but they're real people.
Me fat.
Yes. They will be larger than life people, but they will be people. Right, so they're not. They will not withstand cartoonish levels of punishment, and will largely be constrained by real world physics and things like that. Got a couple of different jobs. So they were real people and act as though the world is real. The other thing that I will, through the character sheets, through our Apocalypse and through our character sheets. So I asked you before we started what sort of apocalypse you guys wanted to sort of play in, whether you wanted to play in a blasted desert hellscape or in in something a bit different or anything. Before we go any further, has anyone got any thoughts on that? Anything that they really don't want to have in our apocalyptic world or do? I know we've already said no zombies, and I'm more than cool with that.
Like, can the apocalypse have mutated pandas so that they're really into breeding now, and there's like an illegal and legal market of panda meat?
What? That was
Panda
just
meat.
out of the blue.
Okay. Panda meat, I think, rather than be something that's readily available, and I think I think that's probably quite a rare delicacy.
No, but like,
so it might actually be worth a lot of
after
barter.
the apocalypse, it mutated the pandas into sex fiends, and their population exploded. Bamboo's a rarity.
Maybe
Of course.
that's why the apocalypse started.
Well, because the
No.
pandas were fighting against the humans.
It's the panda
Pandas started
apocalypse.
breeding too much and it destroyed the world.
The point you find yourselves at is actually a little bit further down the road, so no one quite realizes, like, knows how the apocalypse began. It's sort of the stuff of legend at this point.
Okay, so
It doesn't take.
it's hundreds or thousands of years afterwards.
Well, it's not hundreds of thousands, it's about 50 years ago, but it's like
Long enough that no one remembers it.
yeah, the oldest people sort of have childhood memories of it, but no one knows what really happened or the cause factor, and maybe no one will ever know.
And those that do are probably dead.
Yeah, and those that caused it are probably also dead.
Yeah.
Thinking, and if you go to roll 20, in roll 20, I'll start drawing a map as we go. I started one just before that I had a thought about. And we'll talk about this as characters as well. I think your hideout is that I've called the Warren. We can rename this. It sort of was once the coast, connected to it was connected through sort of mangrove flats to the mangrove flats to the mainland. So there's a sort of a jagged coastline that goes up and down there. Right, but we can, and we'll fill in this map as we go and as we talk about it. So let's, with that in mind, you're all sort of based at the Warren for now. That's where you'll start. But let's talk a little bit about the characters that you want to play. So you've got your playbooks there, and they're these sort of archetypes of Apocalypse World.
Well, I've already printed out the angel sheet, so I'll take that.
Yeah, I've already got myself already planned out as the gun lugger, so that's my one.
You're going to have a grenade launcher.
Yeah. Of course.
Yay!
How's that a bad thing, right?
Okay. Jesse, what were you thinking about?
Either the Battle Babe or the Skinner. Maybe the Battle Babe.
You don't have to decide just yet. We can come back to you.
Let's go Brainer.
It's the weird one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brainers are like the psychics.
He's the weird boy of our group.
Yeah. You want some psychos?
And yeah, I guess I'll be the driver then. And then Bob can be whatever the hell he wants to be.
Sure, you don't feel constrained by that. CJ?
Well, having not looked at any of the other characters, I guess I'll be the Maestro D, or whatever it's called.
The Maestro
It's a
D.
good way to choose a character.
Everyone's like, you should just play this one. I'm like, all right.
Well, we just think it suits you as a lover of the fine of the finer things. So
Whiskey.
Jesse, you can either be you can be a battle babe if you'd like, if and looking good doing it.
Multicast to be a skinny
Then your
girl.
thing. You can take other playbooks later on, but that's to do with advancement. So we'll talk about that. Or you can be a Skinner if you'd like, or you can be, well, any of the others.
Do you like the idea of stripping and people watching me and not being able to not watch me while I strip?
So
That's
yes.
literally one of the
That
abilities.
is literally the skill. Yeah, I know this class.
Okay, the Skinner sounds good.
Yeah, I'll be the Skinner.
All right. So, Freeze, we'll start with you. Just because that's the playbook I happen to have open in front of me. So if you look at all the playbooks, they all go for 4 4 half pages. The last page of that is the sort of how you go through and create it. So Freeze, if you could just go through those steps and sort of tell us what you're doing.
So I guess you start with the name.
Yep, you don't have to choose one of those. If you've got another name, you can.
Can I come back to the name?
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool. Right. So I'm going to go with.
So you've got those
stat set.
about.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with the third one there, with the +1 weird.
Is there an editable character sheet somewhere? Or would we
I've just been using Notepad myself.
In Roll20, you should be able to access character sheet. If you go into, if you don't have one, I can create one for you.
I have
Yeah, I've just got a
basic moves
couple
and
of-
peripheral.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all I got as well.
That's right. I will create one for you as we go. So just give me a second.
No worries.
So are those stats there your starting stats?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Just give me a sec. So I am going to.
Is there a breakdown of what the stats are somewhere?
Go through those just once I create this. You should have, if you go into that tab there now, obviously you should see a.
Oh, yep, there it is.
Right, and I'll do this for all of you as we go. The name on it is a randomly generated one. You are not, of course, stuck to that name.
Jesus, that's a complicated name.
Not diddle
Once
diddle
it
dee.
generates on. I think it's just the Roll20 equivalent of like bashing on a keyboard.
Yeah, that's what mine is.
Wait, where are you guys hearing this?
Freeze.
In
Freeze, this
the
one's for you.
right tab.
Right.
Hit
You see the tab that looks like a newspaper?
in Roll20.
Oh,
Oh, what the fuck?
well, there you go. You learned something new.
Now, where am I seeing stuff?
Yeah, we've used Roll20 for a long
I'm
time.
about to create your CJ, so you'll see in a second.
Oh, okay.
What is it? Oh, Skinner, that's what I chose.
Should I just start screaming?
So the that's you, CJ.
I don't want to be Val Capiwi.
We change that name. Right. Do the stats while we're going through that, and then I'll keep creating these sheets.
Would you rather be Fuawao Aveos?
Yes.
Who wouldn't want to be
So
that person?
the 5 basic stats are cool, hard, hot, sharp, and weird. Cool means sort of cool under fire, calm, patient, keeping your head. Hard is hard-hearted, strong-willed, but also violent and aggressive. Hot means hot, attractive, beautiful, inspiring, interesting, charismatic as well. Upwitted, alert, smart, perceptive, so, you know, sort of thinky stuff. And weird means a weirdo, psychic, flashes of genius, but also the uncanny and the strange. So that's, and it's also to do with accessing the psychic maelstrom of Apocalypse World. What is the psychic maelstrom? Is probably going to ask the question. The psychic maelstrom is sort of the psychic detritus left over from the apocalypse. It's sort of at the edge of your psyche. It's always kind of there. Some of you will be able to tap into it to do things, to learn things, to know things. It looks different and behaves differently for everyone. Come on. Sorry, I'm still creating these character sheets. But yeah, it sort of shapes the world in unseen ways. It's not like Nessus using the psychic maelstrom or anything like that. It's more mind-to-mind connection-y sort of stuff. Oh, come on. Yeah. The other stat that you'll have that we'll set in a minute is HX. Who doesn't have character sheet yet? Cracks, you don't have one yet, do you? HX is your history with other characters. So you'll have a HX stat for each of the other characters in Apocalypse World. Haven't done yet. Who hasn't got a sheet yet?
I don't.
I've just realised I haven't been paying attention.
Okay. Just give me one.
I remember hearing about cool and hot, and then I zoned out. I'll pick it up.
Obviously, we're making the most of your connection to the Psychic Maelstrom.
I don't think it's going to be a problem for me. I don't plan to use psychic abilities. In terms of like how it works, I assume I'll get messed up by it at some point.
Oh, I'll
Yeah,
make sure
you
that
can get
happens.
messed up. You can get messed up by it, especially if with Krax's character.
I'm assuming weird
you
is for
can-
the psychic, because that what we were talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. I just want to be
Yeah.
weird.
But anyone can access the Psychic Maelstrom to sort of gain insight about stuff. That's one of your basic moves, and everyone will have access to that. Has everyone got a character sheet
Yes.
that they can see in that tab?
Oh, I rolled weird by
Okay.
mistake. Sorry, I wasn't.
Where?
I was going to randomly give me.
In the tab that looks like a newspaper.
Yeah, I only see one thing underneath there. The
Yeah, I'm
creator of
apparently
Hero.
mighty Jeff Iglavu.
So we're only supposed to see one each, or?
Yeah,
Yep.
you only
Yeah.
see your one.
Right,
See
okay.
only
Then
yours.
yes, I can see one.
Anyone
Cool.
to be able to see yours. All right, cool. So we'll just go back to character creation. Freeze, you were looking through your character there.
Yeah, so I've taken the -1 cool, +1 hard, 0 hot, 2 sharp, 1 weird.
Excellent. Which small practical weapon are you taking?
I'm taking a sawn off.
All right, so you've got a sawed-off shotgun, which does 3 harm. We'll talk about harm in a bit. It only works when you're close. You have to reload it between shots, and there's no way to do it cleanly. For someone who's a healer and reasonably surgical, a sawed-off is not a surgical weapon.
Nope. You're making assumptions about the type of healer I am here.
He's got nice contrast.
He brings the sweet.
Nurse, I am
Right.
making the incision.
I mean,
Put
it's not lying.
it this way: that wound is no longer giving him trouble because he's dead.
Yeah, well, no, it's just stopping the bleeding with shells.
All right. So, is your character a man, a woman, ambiguous, or transgressing, or what do they look like?
When we say transgressing, what do you like?
Like half dog, half goat.
Not half dog, half goat.
Oh,
You ruined Scare's character. He already built it.
fuck.
It's obviously 1/3 panda.
Yeah, well, not yet, but my kids.
By transgressing, we mean like not conforming to a gender role or explicitly flaunting traditional gender roles. This is this is
So what's the difference between that or ambiguous?
ambiguous means you could go either way. Transgressing means you probably one way and looking the other in this context.
Transgressing, you got to tell every second person like you're a vegan. Don't care. And your hair probably isn't purple. And you're probably not in university.
I'll probably just go, man, I'm going to go with a cranky old fuck, so.
Okay, how do you dress?
Filthily.
Filthy, sort of scrounged.
Yeah, just sort of rags and bits and pieces he's picked up and patched and like no real care.
Okay, kind face, strong face. What
Haggard.
sort of impression do people get when they look at you?
Haggard.
Haggard, excellent. What sort of eyes do you have?
I'm assuming by quick I mean shifty and darting around, so
Yeah, or nervous.
yeah.
The fuck is a restless body?
And
Does that mean a
if
sleep?
someone was going to,
Twitching and nervous and is what I'd say.
what sort of body does your surgeon have?
Slight. So small,
Slight.
small, thin.
Okay. Right, so now we're going to talk about moves. Everyone has access to the basic moves. All right, so the basic moves to do something under fire, to go aggro on someone, to stuck someone, to do battle, to seduce, or manipulate someone, help or interfere, read a sitch, blah, blah. So we'll go through these. So in Apocalypse World, when you do something that has a chance of interesting failure, into play. Everyone has the basic moves. You all got moves specific to your character. To do any of those moves, what you'll be doing is you'll be rolling 2d6, which Roll20 will do for you, and adding your relevant stat. The basic way of playing this game is if you get below a 7, you will fail. If you get between a 7 and a 9, you will succeed, but if you succeed partially, and if you get a 10 plus, you do it. Right? No ifs and buts, and that includes like shooting someone. If you get a 10, you do it.
Just do it.
But in order to do any of these things, you have to do it. If that makes sense, you have to describe how you do it. You're not just going to come up to someone and go, "I go aggro, roll." Right? You need to describe how you're doing. You need to describe what your character's doing.
I pull the trigger, which has a spark that causes the projectile to fly out of my gun.
You can describe all of it, right? That's it'll really work if you get into the narrative details of what your character's doing. So doing something under fire is obviously doing something under fire, doing something when there's some kind of pressure. There's urgency, there's danger, or there's someone shooting at you. This determines whether you can still go ahead with it, but also what it costs you. So you might succeed, but it'll come with consequences. Going aggro means attacking someone when they aren't expecting it, or whether you sort of get up in someone's grill. On a success, they either have to force your hand and suck it up. So if you say, "I will shoot you," if you say, "I will shoot you where you stand if you don't move out of my way," they'll go, "Okay, then shoot me," which is a consequence of going aggro on someone. Or they will cave and do what you want. Suckering someone is a sucker punch. It's sneaking up on someone. It's attacking someone unsuspecting or helpless. It's flashing a blade out of nowhere. It's punching someone in the back of the head. It's shooting someone from a hidden perspective where they're unaware of your presence. When you do battle with someone, you start looking at battle moves, which are slightly different. I'm not sure if I put them in the Roll20, but they're in your handout. Seduce or manipulate is pretty much what you think. It also includes sort of bluff, fast talking. You can look up all of these. You'll have them all in the basic moves in the ref book. It determines whether they believe you and also whether they go along with you. So you can seduce or manipulate someone to sort of cow them to your will, and that will be that's on NPC. It's mainly on NPCs. You can also roll that one on other PCs. Helping interfere with someone, helping someone do something else, that depends on your history, your HX, your connection with them, which we'll talk about once you've all done the sort of generating. Read a sitch is like a quicker look around to figure out what's going on. When you read a sitch, you will be able to ask some questions. They're all there in the ref book. How well you succeed determines which questions you ask. If you miss on that one, you'll get an answer. You can ask me a question, but you might not get the right answer back. Reading a person is similar, but for reading people. Finally, opening your brain to the world's psychic maelstrom means lowering your mental guard and letting the world's sort of psychic maelstrom bleed into your head. When you do that, I will tell you something new and interesting about the current situation. So I will get into your head and we will talk a little bit about how you perceive the psychic maelstrom and what you get in there. And I will also, when you open your mind to the Psychic Maelstrom, I'll ask you some questions, which you should answer honestly and truthfully as your character. And then there's some other moves, peripheral moves, that we'll talk about as they come up. So everyone has those moves. You will also have your character-specific moves. So Freeze, I'd like you to choose 2 from your character now. If you scroll up, you'll see on the page before, or you've got it on paper in front of you.
Taking Battlefield, Grace, and Healing Touch.
Put Grace and Healing Touch, very good. Healing Touch. Okay, so Freeze, I'd like you to talk a little bit about your angel and talk a little bit about their outlook on life and also what an angel does in Apocalypse World.
Okay, it's essentially the doctor, surgeon. They're just Battlefield medic. One's a bit older, seen a bit. Doesn't really look at people as people anymore. It just sort of sees broken things to fix. Doesn't really like people.
Doesn't like people.
May looks like he may sample his own stash of healing items occasionally.
Nice.
Samples his own stash. Okay. Now here's a question. So you've got an angel kit,
Yes,
which is
it's a car trunk size
what you-
basically med kit essentially.
so it's a giant med kit that is big enough to fill the trunk of a car, to sort of give you the idea of how big this thing is. How do you keep that stocked? Where do you get your supplies from?
Oh, okay. I
Chris?
start. Yeah, I was just trying to figure out what the hell. Yeah, I start with a supplier. Okay.
So where do you get your? No, you don't start with a supplier. You don't have a steady supplier who keeps you in stock unless that's a move that you're picking. It's one you can pick. Where do you usually scrounge your stock from?
Passerbys.
Passerbys. Do you have? Where do they usually come from? The north or the south?
Yeah. Let's go with east.
The east. Okay, so what you know about east of your position, and I'll fill this in on the map now. There's a settlement out that way called Brook. To the east, you're not quite sure how far off. And Brook is notable in that it is actually sitting on a clean source of water, which is kind of rare in this world. Let out there as well. Okay, and if you look on your map there, I filled it in there as well. So that, you know, is somewhere to the east. You're not quite sure. You're not quite sure exactly how far off it is. You haven't necessarily been there, or if you travel from there, it's been a while. But Brook is to the east.
With the Warren, is it that big white thing, or is that something else? Was
The
that
Warren
main
is
road?
is in the centre there.
It's just that.
That is
hex?
yeah,
Okay.
that is in the middle of the map there. That is the Warren.
So the hex is meant to be like some sort of scale.
No, that's just to show that it's a map. This is a mud map. This is not to scale.
Okay. So
One
the Warren
after-
is that white patch.
He's not there tomorrow morning.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's all one.
Cool. And finally, have you thought of a name for your angel?
Herzog Harrison.
Herzog Harrison. Okay. And we'll deal with your HX with the other characters in a minute. Talk about. So, talk about your character. Grave, is that what we're going with?
Who, me?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my character is called Alabaster Grave. And I don't...
Alabaster Grave, the Maestro D.
Yes. What questions do I need to answer?
Okay.
Do I
looking
have
at
to
your
choose a
sheet there.
stat set, do I? Or...
All right, so yes, choose a stat set and enter that in your character sheet in Roll20.
All right, how do I enter it in? Do I just fill in those blank spaces, do I? Or...
Should be able to fill in next to them. You just put a number in there of whichever set you do.
Yeah, okay, so if I'm picking the first one, which is cool, I just put like 1, -1, stuff like that, or?
Yep.
So 1, -1, hot is 2, sharp is... Actually, no, I wanted sharp. I don't get a lot of sharp. Okay.
You're an establishment type. You run a thing. You're not a strategist. By the way, as your characters advance, you'll be able to.
Okay, so sharp isn't like. Well, I'll just start with 0. It's better than negative. And what am I? 1 weird. Okay.
Yep, just slightly out there.
Yeah, well, you'll see. Yep. So I've got that. I will take all the basic moves. Yes.
All right. Yep. And you've got 2 Maestro D moves. We'll also talk about your establishment in a minute as well.
Where do I see those moves listed?
So
Or
if you
do I-
scroll up a little bit on your in the ref book,
Okay. Do I get to pick one, or do I just grab one?
Pick 2.
you get to
Two.
pick 2.
Oh, okay. Okay. Shit. I should be paying more attention to those. Sorry. When I do something under fire, roll plus hot instead of cool. Yeah, that might not be too bad, actually. All right. I'm going to go with...
So the Maestro D for us, in the Golden Age of Legend, there was a guy named the Maestro. He was known for dressing up real dap, and wherever he went, the people had many great tunes. There was also another guy called the Maestro D. He was known for dressing up real dap, and wherever he went, people had all the food they could eat and the fanciest of it. In our current world, there's those 2 roles have sort of merged into one. So the Maestro D is the guy who can find you a little something to take off the edge and also a bit of entertainment. So they will run. So CJ will be running an establishment, which some of you may be patrons of, some of you may work for the Maestro D, and some of you may just want to get in there and burn it all down.
Okay.
We'll start sort of as.
I want to grab Fingers in Every Pie. That sounds like a lot of fun. And I'm also going to go with, you call this hot, since I've already got good stats in hot. I'm assuming the higher the number, the better.
Yes.
Okay.
Higher stats is better because you add them to your D6 rolls.
Yeah. So if I roll an 8 and I
Talk a
get...
little bit about your.
So, sorry, what?
Let's talk a little bit about your establishment.
Okay, my
So your
establishment.
has
All right.
a main attraction and 2 side attractions.
All right, so my main attraction is shockingly drinks with a side attraction of coffee.
No.
The side attraction of coffee, and the other side attraction is scene. People come here to see and be seen. Do I want to do that? Maybe spectacle's more fun.
Spectacle.
No, not spectacle. That's too loud. Fuck, I don't know. Drinks, coffee, and more drinks. Drugs is too generic. Yeah, fuck it. We'll go scene.
Scene. Okay, and what sort of atmosphere does... what's your place called? Do you have a name?
I did, but I don't like it anymore, so name pending. For my establishment's atmosphere, we're looking at a bit... where are we? I think I saw there earlier. It's a bit quiet. It's a
Quiet
bit.
place.
It's a bit grimy.
Was it once louder? Was it once louder, and is it now quieter?
I guess.
So it's a little bit threadbare.
Yeah, a bit grimy.
Mhm.
And I want to go with velvet as well, so you get this sense of the idea of what it used to be like.
So it's got this sort of faded glory. Maybe it was once like a cinema or like a
Mm.
cinema lobby or something like that.
Oh, got that. Yeah, along those lines.
Mhm.
Just picture grimy velvet, and you get the idea. Like you probably don't want to sit in those chairs, but fuck off! It's the apocalypse. You have no choice.
Very good. And you've got some regulars. The ones that are in the book and the ones that you can use if you like are Lamprey, Bar, Camo, Toyota, and Litz.
Yep. So with the regulars, do I just pick
So,
some random people I like, or do I get to pick other characters, or what's the go there?
Who's your best regular? Which one do you really like?
Does it have to be one of those 5, or do I just make someone up, or what?
You can use those 5 or you can make someone up.
Fuck it. We'll go with Toyota.
Toyota's your best.
Toyota's my best.
Yeah, what do you like about Toyota? Is it just that he spends big, or is it that he keeps the place classy?
He's an automotive. No.
Damn it, CJ. Ugh.
Got a rear
Just
view
gives
camera.
that feeling.
Oh god, he's all shiny and chrome.
Yeah, Toyota. He's a big spender.
Big spender. Okay.
I'll be my worst regular because I drink all my stock.
No, who's your worst? Who
Lamprey.
do you worry about every time he comes in?
Lamprey.
Or she? Lamprey, bloody Lamprey.
Lamprey. It's a bit of a. I mean, they always, if someone spills a drink, they get down and suck it up off the carpet. And it ain't carpet. It's
Bit of a
velvet.
desperate alcoholic. All right. There are 3 NPCs that have an interest in your establishment. So, who wants in on it?
Who wants in on it?
Who keeps trying to cut themselves in on your action?
Someone give me a name.
Is it Grome?
Is it who?
Grome? Or is it Mimi?
Mimi. With a stupid bow.
And which part of your action is she trying to cut in
Sorry.
on? Which part is she trying to cut in on? Is she trying to get in on your alcohol trade, or?
Yeah, she's trying to steal my business. My main business. And my customers.
And
I mean, she can
representing
fucking have
spies, isn't she?
Lamprey.
And who do you owe? So who helped you get set up and is now pressuring you to pay him back?
Shit, that does not form one while I was playing at all. Someone else put a name out there for me.
Kettle?
Yep, Kettle.
So Kettle is one of the sort of local bigwigs within the Warren who probably helped you get it set up under favourable terms.
Mhm.
But it's now forever more leaning on you for favours.
Yep.
And finally, who just wants it gone?
Sledhammer. CLED.
Sledhammer.
Hammer.
Sledhammer.
Yeah, but he says sled. You don't spell too good.
Oh god.
No, that's good. That's good. He's probably come in and smashed up furniture before. Last time, though, how did you turn him out? What sort of security has this place got?
Yeah, I'm just having a look at that there. So I can either have a real gang or 2 of these. All right, everybody's packing. I got a bouncer who knows
So
what it
this-
is.
Packing, and a bouncer who knows his beers. And what's their name?
Bouncer.
That's Shan, isn't it? Or is it Mercer?
I was just going to call him Fist.
Fist is fine.
He's got a real
Although-
name, but everyone just calls him Fist.
No, that's good. And Fist, but Fist, despite what most people think, is actually quite competent. He's actually pretty sharp.
Yeah, works for me. Yeah, well, I mean, he knows his bits. He's only got one arm, though. No, he's only got one hand.
One hand, but it's very quick to reach for his pistol if required.
I don't know, that's tied to his
That's
other
great.
stump. No,
So tell-
go with the one.
About Alabaster Grave. What does Alabaster Grave look like?
Alabaster Grave is a man, not terribly old, probably somewhere in, I'd imagine, like the early 30s, late 20s. He wears immaculate whites at all time with ivory trimming, including a cravat.
Immaculate whites with cravat.
Yeah, it's like a dress shirt, sleeves rolled up, and dress pants with a belt.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Dress shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of a porcelain face to go
he
with it.
doesn't have a porcelain face, but interestingly enough, he does have a small tattoo just behind their right ear.
Right, yeah, very good. What's the tat?
It is no one's really quite too sure, but it appears to be some sort of long forgotten breed of canine.
Is it a
Done
corgi?
okay.
Shut up. I mean, I was like, everyone's gonna guess it straight away, but fuck it.
It's iron.
Oh, it ain't. It's toast.
Okay. Cool eyes, bright eyes, inquisitive eyes.
I'll go with dead eyes. Dead eye. Nah. I mean, what are cool eyes? They're just like really neat.
So sort of reserved and not.
Yeah, we'll go with that. It's kind of like so he's sort of like everyday expressionless, kind of looks like a mannequin sort of thing.
Doesn't give much away.
Not really.
Hey, fat, thin, lean.
He's lean.
And finally, tell us about Alabaster's hands. Are they sort of quite fine and refined, or have they obviously been through some
They're quite
work?
precise, actually. I would go with quick and precise, but like, I mean, he makes a lot of drinks.
That's fine. Deft.
That's
Deft.
deft hands.
Yeah.
His hands can't hear.
Finally, in addition to your establishment, you get a wicked blade.
Or do I
What
just
sort
get?
of blade do you use?
Oh shit! I get all three of those things.
Just get a blade.
Oh my god.
You get all three of those things.
Yeah. Okay. I've got sort of like bar blades, a fucking bottle openers. That's not gonna work. Yeah. Okay. It's just like a sort of a. It's
Like a
sort of
serrated knife.
Yeah. Think of more like. Yeah, that'll work. Serrated knife, kept in like a bit of like a skinny sheath thing that hangs around the waist.
Yep.
Typically used for.
Your oddments worth 2 barter. Barter, we'll talk about barter. So what do you trade in the Warren? What's the sort of script currency that people use?
Why do we want our currency to be? Should we all agree on it as a group, or?
Yeah, I think. Well, you should at least know what's valued. What's primo here? Of course, there's going to be some trade going on, but what's the main?
What's
sort of-
valued as money? What do you guys reckon? What should we have for money? No one has.
Did you
any
want
ideas.
dollar bills?
Kind of boring, but
We go bullets.
I think the value of the dollar has probably dropped in the future.
Yeah.
Dropped into oblivion. The highest currency in the land is
Well, it's a cash-only economy now, so surely the physical money's gone up.
Well, it's not. Yeah, but no one.
what kind of apocalypse are we in?
I've always liked the idea of bullets as currency because then it's sort of
Yeah.
handing
It-
over
it's
like
very much
defense.
so.
Like that makes them really valuable. So
Maybe it's not bullets, but it's shells, like shotgun shells.
A good thing I didn't get to take a shotgun, otherwise I'd be like shooting money away.
like
There's a sort of specific type of shell that you value. It's not one that's used in guns often because people don't want to shoot money
It's a-
away.
It's a conch shell.
It can be animal shells, given that you're a fair distance from the ocean. In fact, Nob, you're the only one that's actually seen the ocean for real.
Okay.
Sure, that'll be my one
Yes.
character trait.
Yes.
I saw the
And I'm now a pirate.
That's what I say is as soon as like anything comes up.
but like,
I saw the ocean.
all right. So what do we traded? Like fossilized.
I think that's
Teeth?
quite interesting, like seashells.
Yeah, seashells
I mean-
seems like would be like a pretty cool currency especially if we're far from the ocean. Because seashells are quite pretty, they'd be quite valuable to have as like things to
I mean,
show
I
off.
grew up in a country where traditionally shells were used for money. So
Well, there we go.
cool. Go with that. It's got
Right, so-
It doesn't seem totally outlandish. I'd say
yeah,
do it.
that's why in New Guinea the currency is still called Kina and Toya because they were the Kina shell and the Toya shell. They actually had two different shells that were worth
Done.
different amounts.
Interesting.
Excellent.
All right, it's settled.
And finally, you've got fashion suitable to look, which we've discussed.
Mhm.
But you can also take a piece worth one armor. So one
Yep.
armor can look like normal wear, but there's like flak jackety stuff.
Mhm.
Once you get to 2 armor, you're starting to talk like right here. Once you get 3 armor, you're like,
Right, because I like had this idea I'd have a really nice hat that people don't want to spoil, so they sort of like ease up before they hit it, kind of thing. It was like equivalent to having one armor.
you probably need something a bit more substantial. than
Logical.
that, but maybe it's a padded tailcoat.
Nah, he doesn't wear a tailcoat. Like he's really only got like he's not wearing lots of layers of clothing. He keeps it quite functional for working behind a bar. Could I have an armored cravat? Would that work?
Waistcoat.
He could be wearing. Yeah, actually, yeah, he would be wearing a waistcoat. Actually, that sort of works still.
Yeah, he doesn't have to be wearing the armored one all the time, but if he's got one,
Okay,
then he can
yeah, no, we'll go with that. He wears he got a bit of a padded waistcoat going on, but not like super bulky, thick, kind
and
of
we'll do
like
your hate checks.
yeah. You hit it, but for some reason it's like,
Very good.
hang on, it's full of shells.
Alrighty, Mr. has seen the ocean.
I've seen the ocean.
Character done. Play the-
That's it. Let's go. Next character.
I've seen the ocean. I'm a battle blade, babe.
It says he
Okay,
fought a
tell us-
kraken, but really it was seaweed.
All right, tell us about your battle babe. So the battle babe is to talk about this a little bit now because we're going to be talking about gun luggers in a minute. A battle babe is not someone with 1,000 guns. A battle babe is someone with one gun who does it really well, like just looks brilliant while doing it. Like they're dangerous. They're as dangerous on the battlefield as they are in bed. When they're in the battlefield, they just sort of draw the eye, draw attention, and also give back as much hot as they give out. So they're agile, they're slick, they're just poetry in motion is the best way to think of a battle babe.
Mhm.
So is that what we're going, or are we going Skinner?
I might go battle babe.
Okay. So first off, what's your battle babe called? Do you have a name?
No. Let's do that.
That's all right. We'll come back to that.
Stats.
Battle babe. All right. So which stats are you choosing? Cool battle babe, or are you a hard battle babe? Or are you
I'm
actually they're all hard
hard.
-1?
Yeah, well, the last one isn't -1, but
You're not very hard.
Yeah. Depends if
Do
I
you prefer
want.
to,
What is it?
do you
Weird.
prefer to fight smarter or fight charismatically?
Fight smarter.
So take one of the sharp +1 options.
I might go the last one. 3 cool, 0 hard, 1 hot, 1 sharp, and -1 weird.
Okay, so you're more dealing with the here and now in the world as it is, none of this psychic hoodoo.
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm just writing not very weird on my notes here.
Not weird.
Yeah. So if you look on your left tab there, you get 2 custom firearms or custom weapons. They don't have to be firearms.
Also, I can choose 2 firearms or 2 hand weapons or 1 of each, can I?
That's correct. You can have handgun, shotgun, rifle, crossbow, or you can have staff, half handle, chain.
I'll have a handgun.
And you'll notice you can choose 2 of those descriptors for it.
Okay. What does negative reload mean? You don't need to reload it, or that doesn't.
It means it reloads quicker. You don't have to worry about shoving ammo into it because
Bullets
it's
in the front.
semi-automatic.
Okay. I guess AP's just armor penetration.
Armor penetration, yep.
Thinking maybe silenced and big. No, maybe not big. Because I kind of want it to be a stealthy kind of weapon. I feel like big, I wouldn't be able to hide it.
High powered.
Yeah, high powered. So that's.
Yep. So that is. So if you write down all the stats next to it, so it is 2 harm.
Where do I add
Close
that?
/ far. I'm not sure in your character sheet. Somewhere. Okay. Just write it down for now. I've got it noted
Yeah.
here. What about your second weapon?
Let's say a handle.
Yep.
Blade.
Mm-hmm.
What does plus infinite mean?
Well, you hit that hard and then a bit extra.
I will look up exactly what plus infinite means for you and get back to you. Let me just find it.
Maybe unlimited ammo for it or something type thing. Or
No, if it's a hand weapon.
yeah. I don't know.
Give me 2 seconds. I will just do a little fun thing.
Maybe if you ever lose it, you just have another one spare.
Yeah, I think it's probably.
And it just reminds you of Reaper.
What kind of weapon is it that's got infinite?
Oh, come on. It's searching. We'll come back to that in a second.
Okay.
Second rhythm time. Okay, so while we're there, you've got your 2 custom weapons. You've got oddments with 4 barter, so that could either be all shells or it could be some other bits and pieces with barter. What does your character value? Like, what would you trade for or trade with?
Wouldn't it just be shells?
You'd have shells, of course.
Yeah.
It could be more than one currency in this world. You could trade in used socks.
Character, well, that's a good example. That's your character prize being warm and character prize. Is there something that collect? Do they have a collection of old photos they're trying to complete or something like that?
Oh, so something they yeah, okay, they value.
Hmm.
Um.
That's all right. We can come back to that.
Yeah, I'll come back to that.
If you've got oddments worth 4 barter, that actually makes you a little bit rich. You're richer than CJ.
Yay! Take that, CJ.
Okay. So how does the Battle Babe look, man or woman?
Woman.
Woman. Okay. Dresses like a woman, or do they transgress in some way?
Probably more ambiguous. Because it's like doesn't really matter either way. Yeah.
And it's obviously drowning in the ocean.
Yeah. I've seen the ocean,
And
guys.
That's what it sounds like.
So do
He's
they?
like telling us about the ocean. He just goes to a sink.
What does the ocean sound like?
Oh, that's why you collect shells, because when you hold on to the air, it sounds like the ocean.
You're the only one that knows that.
Oh,
Okay,
try
infinite,
this way to convince people. The ocean is in the shells.
You ones, so you've just got a supply of them that you can just sort of keep pulling out. That doesn't mean if you start, I throw my knives away, you suddenly go, oh no, I still have knives. It means that if you like throw a shuriken, you don't have to go and retrieve the shuriken and pick it back up. You've just still got it. You've still got more shuriken somewhere.
Okay.
But you don't care if you just like ping one away or something like that. That's what infinite means.
Okay.
Right. So, do you wear regular clothes, or are you armored up a bit?
I wouldn't be fully armored. So just kind of regular clothes, probably.
Right. So only one armor.
Yes.
So sort of like a combat fatigue thing, or something a bit more leather jackety.
Yeah, something more leather, probably a leather jackety kind of thing.
Leather jackets, lots of holsters, that sort of thing, or something a bit more sleek.
No, it's more sleek. Definitely more sleek.
More sleek. Smooth face, sweet face, striking, or sort of a bit more sharp, a bit more worn. Or something a bit more sort of boyish or girlish to tie in with the ambiguous thing.
I'll probably go with a striking face.
Yeah, sort of close cropped hair or long hair?
Not long hair. No. So it'd be sort of short.
Furiosa short or like
No,
longer than that?
not that. A little bit longer than that, but not.
We need exact millimeters, Snob.
Well,
Out
when I
of
go to the
context.
barber, I usually get a.
That's fine. Frosty eyes, arresting eyes, calculating eyes.
Calculating eyes.
And finally, slim body, very attractive body, angular, muscular.
Sweet body.
Sweet.
Oh, what's the difference between sweet body and gorgeous body?
Pretty much.
Gorgeous,
the
I think.
taste.
Gorgeous, I think, is more Venus de Milo. Sweet body is just like
Sugary.
cute and still attractive, but not like statuesque. Finally, choose 2 Battle Babe moves.
does impossible reflexes do? Don't I already have one
Okay,
armor
so,
if I'm wearing non-armor fashion?
Yeah, so your natural fashion counts as one armor, but if
Yep.
you're just wearing like regular clothes, you don't have your leather jacket on, you still count as one armor.
Okay.
So if you're just wearing like a singlet, you count as being one armored, or if you're just wearing like a t-shirt, you count as one armor as a default.
Okay.
And
So
if you're
basically,
stripped naked or nearly naked, you've got two armor.
I'd be more armored if I'm naked.
It's just you're unencumbered, so it's not
Ah, yeah,
necessarily
moving,
naked.
yeah.
It's
So just
you know, you can take. You can have a look at those, and we can come back to you in a minute. But do you have a name?
no, I have not thought of a name yet.
All right,
Still going through
have a
the
think
moves.
about have a think about those, and we'll come back to you in a minute. We'll just keep things moving. Cracks. Let's talk about your brainer. Let's enter the world of weird.
All right. What do you want to know?
Okay, first off, do you have a name?
The Charmer.
Just Charmer or the Charmer?
Yeah, the. There is definitely a the.
You insist on the, even
Yes.
though no one else ever quite manages to use the.
It's like Charmer is my father. Oh, Mr.
Okay,
Charmer.
which set of stats are you going to choose?
Well, we're going to go the first of those options. So the cool +1, hard +1, hot -2, sharp +1, and weird +2.
Very good. Enter them into your sheet.
Yeah.
You get one small fancy weapon. You can see the list down there. Which one are you picking?
We're going to go the Silence 9mm.
Unlike you'd expect for a silenced weapon, though, what's special about this one? Is it got like a fancy inlay, or is it coloured, or what's it look like?
Vintage. Old.
Vintage and sort of a little bit like sort of pearl inlaid.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, you get 2 brainer gear, which is you'll notice on the left there, which is
Yep.
weird shit.
Yup. First option's definitely going to be the Violation Glove.
Violation glove. Okay.
Context.
Oh, that one.
The violation glove. When you
No, the
get-
context makes it worse.
you can touch people. You can touch people in a special way.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And what about your other one?
Let's go with the implant syringe. Yeah, implant syringe.
Okay, you can use that to get a lock on someone, basically.
Yep.
You've got assorted oddments, but being a brainer, the oddments that you collect are a bit weird. What do you have a weird collection of, or what's come into your person by nefarious means?
Teeth.
Teeth. Okay.
Yes, a collection of teeth.
Human teeth or different animal teeth? Have you plucked
All
them
of
from
the
a predator?
above. All of the above.
Teeth assorted. Okay.
He was once a dentist.
Nope.
Okay. What do you wear? You man, woman?
We'll go male.
Male?
And
Yeah.
we'll go-
Hair, short, long?
Short.
Shaved?
Yes.
Okay. What do you wear?
We're going to go with the environmental wear improper to the local environment. So just remind me, what sort of local environment is there?
This is a pretty reasonably warm environment. It's not like desert baking hot, but it is. It probably gets up to 40 degrees at times, and down to. It probably gets down to sort of 20 degrees. So that's the range we're working in. So maybe like a big coat.
We're gonna go a hoodie and beanie and jeans, so battered, torn jeans. And,
Always rugged up. Always feels cold.
Yep, we'll go with that.
And what about your face? Do you sort of keep it under the hood most of the time?
Not under a hood, but there's a beanie on at all times, so it covers the top part.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
scarred
we'll go
or
with
pale?
Smooth face. No, pale face. Pale face.
Pale face, but like sickly pale, right?
Yeah.
Like
never cease
like
to
slightly
see sickly
feverish.
pale.
Yeah. Sickly pale. Very good. What sort of eyes?
Deep eyes.
Deep eyes.
They've seen things, man.
Seen shit. Very good. And finally, what about your body?
We'll go with the slight body.
Slight. Grew up malnourished.
Yeah.
Okay, you get all the basic moves, and then you get 2 brainer moves. So brainers are the weird psychic mindfucks of Apocalypse World. They've got brain control, they can brain scan, they've also can read people with weird. They can just get like messages from out of nowhere.
Yep.
So which 2 of those are you picking?
We're gonna go with the in-puppet brain string, or in-brain puppet strings.
Okay, which let you command people.
Yep. Works well with the glove.
Okay, the other one?
And the other one, now there's the possibility of getting more of these as we sort of like level up or something, isn't there?
As you level up, you will get more moves, yep.
Right, okay. We will go the unnatural lust transfixion.
So you've got some sort of like psychic effect on people when you try to seduce people. That's probably a good chance to finally talk to you guys about the special moves. So, the special moves, as has been said, kick in when someone has sex. It is a way of reflecting the fact that characters have reached a new level of intimacy and understanding of each other. Starting every session with an orgy. And in fact, and I'm serious about this, if someone is uncomfortable with anything sex-wise or any other content we use in this game, sing up. When it happens, just say, enough guys, and we will move on. That's the deal, okay? And that includes sex things. I will say about the special moves. They aren't moves for playing out sex scenes. We will fade to black. Sometimes they're more complicated. The drivers I quite like because whenever they have sex, it can be seen as a disadvantage. They are absolutely only for mutual and consensual sex. Right, so that's, I mean, I trust you guys, of course, but they are for only for mutual and consensual sex. You can't say, I rape an NPC and therefore give me my sex move. That's not how it works.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
That wasn't your plan for the violation.
No, it wasn't. I
Maybe.
need to power up. Got a fucking
No,
NPC.
no, it wasn't. I figured those gloves can let me pull off some of those moves in unusual situations.
Okay. Finally, Brainer, I think that's everything on your little list there.
Hang on. Where are we at?
You've got in-brain puppet strings and unnatural lust transfixion. You get all the basic moves.
Yeah,
and
as part of the
eventually-
gear, we got fashion suitable, including at your option a piece worth 1 armor.
Yep, so you can take something that's armor. So a piece worth 1 armor, as I said before, is just sort of a leather jacket thing, duster,
Yeah.
Yeah, one armor you can almost get away with as like motorbike armor is
Yeah.
armor. It's just not like right.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Awesome.
So have a think about what you want to do there. Okay, Blake.
Yep.
Driver?
Yes. Yeah.
And
Did you want the name first?
sure.
Cool. Her name will be Joy Favor.
Joy Favor. Is that a real name or is that an assumed name?
It's mostly a real name. Basically, she just kind of took it on as a bit of a handle for when she drives people around, because it's always such a joy to ride with her.
Ironic or not ironic?
Oh, mostly ironic. She's like that sort of friendly, or sort of cabbie sort of character. Gets on well with most people because hey, they pay well.
Ah, yeah, like that
Yes.
Nepalese Uber driver I had once.
Okay, tell us a bit about pick a stats. You can see the list there. I'd suggest that you probably, if they're attractive like that, you probably want to take one of the sets with hot +1.
Yeah, I went with the second one, so that's cool +2, hard 0, hot +1, sharp +1, and weird -1.
Excellent.
It's weirdly similar
you
to
get a
mine.
What's a handy weapon that you keep in the cab of your vehicle?
Nothing too complex. I went with the 9mm.
9mm. Excellent. You've got some oddments with Fort Barter. How does Joy dress?
Probably in clothing.
She dresses
Correct.
kind of in fairly casual wear. She wouldn't look out of place if it was still pre-apocalypse days, and she looked like a courier driver, just without any form of uniform. So kind of just like t-shirt, equivalent of jeans if they still have jeans, like very casual wear.
Doesn't dress up. Very good. Woman, as we suggested, casual wear, as we said. Handsome, gorgeous, stern, or just kind of homely.
Yeah, got a bit of a worn face.
Yep.
Like she's still young, but she's probably her beat up car doesn't really have good window tinting, so she's copped a bit of sun and very not sun damage, but very tanned across her face, and her skin's a bit getting a little bit leathery.
Excellent. What about her eyes?
Pale, yeah. Looking into the sun too much. Probably going to get cataracts early on in life.
Yeah, shades. Does she wear sunglasses?
Would there be shades?
You might have scrounged something.
Okay, then she would have shades, but even then, like just staring into the same place, eyes on the road sort of thing, so still pale eyes.
Excellent. There's not much of an ozone layer left, I will say that. So sun damage is likely. Slim, pudgy, stocky, solid, tall.
Solid, not overly big or brawny, just but could stand up for herself. She's not tiny little girl anymore.
Okay. So now let's get to the most exciting bit of a driver. Let's talk about the car.
Yes. I'm going to be fairly original here. I'm going to have a VW van.
It's like a combi.
The
Yes.
combi.
You've got a combi. Okay, what's it good at?
It is good at basically it doesn't really break down ever, so it's fairly uncomplaining as a car.
Reliable. And reliable and sort of easily repaired?
Oh, well, it doesn't break down pretty much at all, so it's basically reliable as its main trait. So I suppose when it has broken down, it hasn't been too bad. So yeah, easily repaired as well.
Okay, so that gives it massive 2.
Yep.
that reliable is because it's, we'll say out of those descriptors there, it's uncomplaining, which means it just complaining. And you get to choose another one of those, so a bit of a workhorse.
Yeah, definitely.
How does it look? Is it in good nick, or is it a bit rusty? Is it flashy? Has it been like painted?
It's been kept in good condition, so I'd say out of those ones, it's vintage.
Vintage and probably pretty. Like it's in good nick.
Yeah, I mean, has to work as taxi, courier, whatever. And if anyone needs a pickup, she's the one on the scene.
What's wrong with it though? What's its weakness?
It's loud as crap.
It's only got 2 tires.
I could just be driving around a Reliant Robin.
Reliant Robin with still only 2 tires.
Okay. And let's have a look at, and in terms of its battle options, you get to choose 2 because it is a massive 2.
Oh god,
Yes.
please just say Type 2
I
bad.
count it as a van, by the way.
Yeah, I can count it as a van too. Cool.
Yeah.
Out of those options, I can double up if I want it, but I'll go with +1 in speed and a +1 in handling. It's good going around corners.
Okay, very good. If you write down your tags in there, some of them will have a mechanical meaning, but we'll look up them in a minute.
Cool.
All right, and now pick 2 driver moves.
Yep. Sort it out. Joy has a reputation.
Mhm.
So if I meet someone important, they may have heard of me, for good or ill.
Mhm.
And she's got, being out on the road, she has weather eye, so she has a good eye on how things are going to play out. Maybe.
Yeah, and also can access a sort of psychic maelstrom and get insight that way. Feels it in her bones.
Yes. She's old before her years.
Okay. Just while I'm flicking back through my notes here, Nob, you got a name for me?
I'm gonna go with Scarlet Whiskey.
Scarlet Whiskey. Birth name or assumed name?
First name, yes. Last name, no. Last name is what she likes to drink, basically.
Make sure that you let the Maestro D know about that.
Yep.
And your 2 moves?
2 moves were Dangerous and Sexy. And the other one was Ice Cold.
Ice. Cold.
That's also just how she likes her whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dangerous and Sexy and Ice Cold.
Red ice cold.
damn straight.
Very good. Okay, finally, Techie, let's talk about the Gunlugger.
Okay,
He loves guns. Yeah.
I certainly do.
Okay, do you have a name for your Gunlugger?
He only goes by one name ever since he arrived. His name's Templar.
Templar the Gunlugger.
Yep.
Okay, pick one of those sets of stats.
I went the first set. So cool 1,
Okay.
hard 2, hot -1, sharp 1, weird 0.
Okay. What is your fuck off big gun?
It's a grenade launcher.
Okay. Noted stats. Does it have a name? Are you a sentimental type? Do you name your guns?
I will, but I'll get back to you on the names of the guns. They've each got one.
You have 2 serious guns as well.
Just one actually, because I'm picking a modifier to go with it.
Okay.
So my serious gun is an SMG.
Yep.
And the modifier I'm getting is AP ammo.
it. This is to go through for the music room for the department so they can come out and help you.
Okay.
Get off the line and then we'll be.
How do you
I'm
keep
curious
stocking
though,
up?
because it says all guns. Does that count as my grenade launcher as well, having AP rounds? Because it says specifically all guns, and it counts under guns. I don't know if it counts for a grenade launcher though. But it'd be hilarious if I can, use a
Put
grenade
it
launcher.
this way: if a grenade launcher is doing 4 harm, you don't need to worry about armor piercing. 4 harm will kill. 4 harm will. We'll probably put it this way: 4 harm would kill the VW combi for sure.
Well, overkill is better.
Better backup weapon.
Overkill's always better than a normal kill.
What's your backup weapon? What do you do when you're out of armor piercing ammo?
I pick out my machete instead and go up close.
But if it comes to that, something's gone horribly wrong.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So like, if I have to use the machete, I've made a mistake. That's usually how it goes.
Okay. Tell me about armor.
I've got an email to Principal about.
I'd say he's been wearing just like a looted SWAT vest. So it's an old SWAT vest, but it's got a lot of holes in it, which he's had to patch up with pieces of junk that he's just put on top of it. So it looks looks like a half vest, half metal.
Half metal. Okay. So we've got translucent armor. We know you're a man. What does Templar's face look like?
It's a scarred face.
Like burn scars or slashes scars or bullet scars? Animal
Slash and
scars.
burn scars.
Does it look like they were cut on in a fight or that someone tied them down and cut on them?
In a fight.
And eyes.
Sad eyes.
Sad eyes.
Mhm.
Sad eyes. Okay, and what about the gunlugger's body?
I'm not entirely sure about this one. What's stocky body like?
No worries.
A stocky body is sort of short and solid, like the kind of guy that you'd
Like a
sometimes
dwarf.
call like stumpy, but not necessarily fat, just like solid.
Hmm.
Like a rugby player at half scale.
I'll just go with hard body then.
I actually thought you went out and
Does anyone see the scars underneath your armor?
Guess I was wrong.
When I was finished.
Oh, I thought that's what-
I would say only just the
During
ones on
what
my face
moment?
when I take if I
Oh, I
take my
thought
helmet
you
off.
walked your dish out
A helmet? What sort of helmet?
and I was doing something.
Just a motorcycle helmet.
I was looking at glass out.
Full face or like a sort of biker one that looks like a World War I helmet?
No, it's a full one. So he has the visor with it.
Has it got any sort of pattern on it? Anything like painted on it?
Just blood stains mainly that he's got as a pattern on it, and he's also got some shards of metal lodged into the top of it, so kind of like a metal mohawk.
Excellent. Okay. 3 basic moves. The 3 gunlugger moves, sorry.
Okay, so what did I have? This
Please have a look at
so
Not to Be Fucked With. I love that move.
I've got that one as one of them.
So Not to Be
So I've got
Fucked
not
With.
to be
In
fucked
battle,
with.
In battle,
count
you
as a
count
gang.
as a small gang.
Brilliant.
Yep. I went with also blood crazed. So whenever I inflict harm, I inflict +1 harm.
Mhm.
And the other one I picked was battle hardened, so I roll on hard against instead of cool if I'm acting under fire.
You should have gone Insano like Drano for the name alone.
You can come back to that.
Nah, I was tempted on that one, but I think I've got enough hard to go with to start with because I've got already a +2.
Okay, so let's talk about everyone's HX. So HX talks about your history, and we'll talk about how that works. But you will have a HX with each other character, right? That influences how you interact with them. The special moves are part of it, but it also talks about who can tag your skills. Right, so the person who you've got the highest HX with, the highest history with, be able to pick one of your skills that they want to highlight for a session. And whenever you highlight that stat, another player will get to highlight one. I'll get to highlight one as the MC. Whenever you roll one of those stats during a session, you'll get an experience point. Yay! When you get to 5 XP, you get to pick one of your improvements, which are on the front page of your little sheet there. That includes upping your stats, getting new moves, some cases, and a whole bunch of stuff. With them back to 0. You get to plus. You reset your experience back to 0.
You're cutting out a little bit there.
As well, when you get to +4 with someone, new threshold of knowing them. So you go from HX +4 back to HX 0. So that means that even though you don't know them less than you did before, come to the realize that no, you actually don't quite know them as well as you thought, but you start to understand them on a deeper level, if that makes sense. Right, it just rolls back to things. You can also have negative paychecks with people, which means that you're active, like you don't know them very well at all. Now that we've got our characters generated, we've talked a little bit about them. I want your characters now to introduce themselves. So if we start with, let's start with. Let's start with the Battle Babe, Scarlet. Tell us a little bit about your character and your character's outlook on the world.
My characters are more of kind of like not a gun for hire, more very specific kind of tasks, like does a lot of work as like a detective work and things like that. So it's in a bit of action, but more of kind of stealth operations kind of things instead of being straight up bodyguard or hired muscle or anything like that.
Yep. How does she justify that? Does she think she's just better than people, or
a bit of that? She's definitely thinks a lot of herself and thinks she's better than the people that she kind of gets sent against, even sometimes the people she works for. Yeah.
Knows best.
Yes, knows best. She thinks she knows best.
How's that got her into trouble before?
Yes.
Has it? But has she had her big comeuppance, or?
No, just smaller things where she's just shrugged them off.
Comeuppance yet? Okay. We'll define your. So. Okay. If you list the other characters' names on your sheet there, ask the other players which of their characters you can trust. Which can Scarlet trust?
I feel like I'd go to I forget CJ's character's name, so I'm just gonna say everyone's name for now because I have no idea who's
Alabaster
or Grave or both.
Okay, I feel like I trust Grave. I go a lot to the bars to get information and things for jobs. I do. So
good source of info.
Yes, very good source of info. I assume CJ Graves would know who to talk to, who knows what sort of thing. So I trust Grave for info.
Okay, so so that means you get -1 history with Graves. That's because you see him as a resource and you don't focus on him. You don't because you don't worry about him.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I can see that. One.
Yeah.
What's your actual name, Graves? Can you type it out somewhere so I can
Alabaster.
just paste it into this?
Am I on mute?
Alabaster.
Alabaster, like the
Oh, you're
stone. Name Graves.
Alabaster. Maybe you can call him Al.
Get out.
What do you think about? All right. What about Templar? Templar's reasonably new into the Warren.
Yes, he
Yeah.
is.
Actually, Templar, which direction did you come from?
I came from the north. I was a chief of security at another settlement. That was
Right, so
up,
that
was up to
settlement
the north.
That settlement up north is known as August.
Yeah.
And the thing about August is it's a much harder city than the Warren. It's a bit more dog eat dog.
Yes, it is.
A lot of dog eating.
Yeah, so it was a lot of dog eat dog, so therefore power was a form of reputation, and Templar showed a lot of it while he was there.
But then you had a falling out, didn't you?
Yes, because I was a little bit I sort of
You crossed Foster, didn't you?
yes. Well, so okay. Probably part of Foster was heading a powerful gang that was trying to get in. Was trying to get into the settlement, and I was one that mainly turned him away, and he came back with some of his boys to try to force their way in.
And you fled.
I stopped him time and time again. So he was basically seeing me as a nemesis at that point because I kept stopping him.
But why did you leave?
Because in the last attack by him, my wife was killed by just some mortar fire. He somehow had one of those. But before I could take out the operator and damage the equipment beyond repair with my grenade launcher, she was killed in the blast.
I like to know that the mortar was probably just a big slingshot. They just fired directly up.
Basically, yeah, it was a homemade sort of slingshot explosive, which was basically like a homemade mortar.
But they just have a big slingshot, they put it in the ground, and then they pull the rubber band down and release, and it goes up and over.
Fuck you all, to the people of August, and just left.
Yeah, they didn't seem to. They seemed to really give me a hard time because of my because of my inquisitive nature of keeping them out. I've been bringing the trouble there, so they sort of wanted me gone. In which case, since she was killed, I had no reason to stay. So I basically just went, yeah, okay, fine. You get attacked again. That's your own problem. I'm out.
So the people of the Warren have got parts of this story from you necessarily, but they've heard rumors from
travelers,
traders, and such. So going back to you, Scarlet, you've heard snippets of this story. Does that mean that you trust Templar?
No, because he'd be a new person to town. I know almost nothing about him. Like, do I even know that he's from that town? Like, how much do we?
You probably the north, but you've probably heard that something went down there.
Yeah. So,
but you don't trust him because you think he's liable to snap.
Well, I don't know if he's the one that was in one of the attacks or what he did. I don't know if I can trust him or if he's here to lead a gang to attack here or anything.
Yep. All right. So take +3 HX with him.
Okay.
Okay. Let's. What do you think about the Brainer? Brainer, ask him.
I don't understand the weird. My character just doesn't understand anything with it. So my character does not trust the weird at all. Like, just doesn't like the weird. Doesn't want anything to do with the weird.
It's a bit too
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good
So-
choice.
Here, real quick, by the way.
Okay, so yeah, take +3 HX there.
The character's
What
name.
about the doctor?
Correct. What was it?
The Charmer.
That is
Charmer. Cool.
the Charmer.
Yeah, the can't forget the time.
Okay, and what about the doc?
He's patched up a few people, and I've got a few bit of information out of him before. I feel like I trust him. Is he local to this town?
Oh, the doc. Well, what do you think, Doc? You're based in the Warren most of the time, anyway.
Oh, wait, are we talking about me?
Yes.
We're asking you the question. You're based in the Warren most of the time.
Yes.
Yeah. So see, I know him. Yeah. So I've questioned a few of his patients. He's stitched me up a couple of times. I trust him.
Okay, -1 HX with the doctor.
What's his name again?
Herzog Harrison.
Okay.
Finally, what about the driver? What, everyone?
I mean, what do you want to know? Joy's
you-
kind of been in and around Warren for a while.
For a while. Yeah, I feel like I'd got a bit of information from the driver before. You know, who he's brought in, sort of helped me with who's new in town or who's leaving town, who's going to what town, sort of thing. So I'd probably trust him.
You think she's what she appears to be?
Yes.
Okay, -1 HX there as well. Let me just check my list. You've done Alabaster, you've done Templar, you've done. Have you done everyone?
Oh, someone else?
You've done the Charmer. You've done. Well, you can't do yourself.
No, I'm counting me. Right. Yeah. No, I've done everyone.
That's
You've
everyone.
done everyone.
Well,
Very good. So you feel like you've got a pretty good read on everyone.
Yes.
Let's talk about the brainer.
Yeah, we will.
Let's talk about the brainer. You can ask some of these questions of other people, Cracks.
Yes.
So which one?
Can. Yes, I will.
So you can ask 1, 2, or all 3 of everyone for that.
I think. Yeah, we'll go all 3. I think. Because why not?
On everyone, or just on one of them?
We'll go the first one on everybody, the second one on everybody, and the third one. We'll open it up to everybody with only one possible answer.
Okay. Which one have you watched sleep?
Either knowingly or unknowingly. We're gonna get
I
everyone.
didn't hear that. But we what?
Like
Which one have you watched sleep? Knowingly or unknowingly?
We're gonna go everybody. I've watched you all sleep.
Okay.
You may or may not know it, but
I
I've watched.
don't.
I
Yeah.
wouldn't have known it, otherwise you would have been dead.
Tell us a little bit about Charmer actually while we're there before we get into
All right.
the real creepy shit.
I'll read you what I've chucked in his bio, which is pretty much just like a list of all the appearance stuff. No one knows his name, if he ever had one. All they know is that this brainer is called the Charmer for a reason, and it ain't because he's charming. He's pasty and pale, with short brown hair and eyes so deep they could suck in your soul, assuming you can meet his unnaturally intense stare. Skinny, like he can't remember what a decent meal even looks like. So yeah, he's basically going to be a giant creep that follows people around and gets them to do what he wants.
Does he see the other people, like, even though he's a creep, that's just a social grace thing, does he see them as, does he like people fundamentally, or does he see them as tools, or does he see them as something else entirely?
He sees them as something to study, something different, something that he is not.
So kind of doesn't see himself as a person.
Yeah, and sees everyone else as subjects for like testing off of
subjects for experiment or subjects for Dominion?
experimental, and Dominion in some ways with his psychic abilities. But
For experimentation, okay. Is that why he's watching him sleep? Is he taking notes?
yeah, mental notes. Doesn't write anything down, just remembers it all.
Okay. So you get to one of the people you've watched sleep, though. You've taken a particular interest in.
Yeah. We're gonna go with Alabaster Graves, the bartender.
So you snuck into Alabaster Graves and watched Alabaster Graves sleep. So take HX plus 2 with Alabaster.
Yeah.
By the way, I will try and keep these sessions to about 2 hours. I know we're getting close to that, but we might get through all these HX, and then next time we'll be a bit shorter.
Back
Okay?
at fine.
What's happening?
Crax has been watching you sleep.
Okay.
I've been watching you all.
I was character, right?
Yeah.
That too.
Which one? Okay. Which one have you been watching in secret though? Not necessarily in their sleep, but which one have you been like observing?
The
intently?
watching carefully in secret will go with CJ's character Alabaster, so that for the intention of finding out more information about his patrons and his business.
You've already been watching Alabaster sleep, but you've been observing someone else.
This is the only update to my status. I've been.
All right, hang on. We'll come back to you with that. What about which one have you had the biggest clash with? Which one just hates you on sight?
I'm gonna let you guys choose that. Can I do that? Can I let them choose?
You can. Who hates this weird creep the most?
Probably me. I don't like the weird, and he's, as far as weird goes, he's the weirdest.
Yep.
I just don't like things that can't be explained, and he's just.
I was
yeah.
about to jump in as well.
That's all right. We'll go with Scarlet because Scarlet's been around for a little bit longer, so you've had the more
that's
chance
fine.
to clash. What was your last disagreement over?
Biscuits.
What did you
Watching
catch him doing?
Watching him sleep.
Sleep.
Maybe watching someone else sleep.
So you
Yeah.
woke up and he was at the foot of your bed. What did you do?
No,
What
probably
did you do when you could wait?
probably more. I caught him watching someone sleep.
So you walked in on him watching Joy sleep, right?
Was it? Yes. Yes.
You caught him at the window one of the nights Joy was in town, and he was.
Yeah. As of leaving a
that's-
bar, so the night. You know.
You saw it outside the car because Joy sleeps in the car, right?
No, she does have a place.
All right. So you saw him at like the window or like on the roof, looking through a skylight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And what did you do?
I yelled at him.
Mm-hmm. Did you threaten him?
Threaten him. No, I would have just called out to him at first.
Hey, you weird ass.
And
Yeah.
then what did you do, Charmer? Did you scurry or did you like try and pick a fight?
Just turned and stared and then disappeared. Calmly, just walked off into the shadows.
Okay. All right. For everyone else, right, HX plus weird one. You've got some sort of insight into everyone, but
Right, hang on a sec though. So if I've watched them all sleep, that gets them +2. Do I give them the +1 as well, or no?
it's which one of you. So you just pick one of them for each of those
Oh.
questions.
Right, just pick one of them for each of those. Okay.
The rest you just get +1 with.
Whoa, that's an ugly dog. Sorry.
Okay. Cool. All right. Sorted.
Okay, Doc, you've seen these idiots come into your clinic. Most of them have been in there at various times. So, where are we? Which one of these knuckleheads do you think is doomed to self-destruction?
I'm going to go with Scarlet Whiskey there. It's the one that keeps getting shot, having to get patched up.
Yeah, that's fair.
Think she's too clever for her own good?
Yeah, she's just not careful enough.
Excellent. Last time, though, that you had a crisis and had to patch someone up, did someone help you?
Don't know who'd be someone that would be helping in that sort of situation.
Is it like a resource that you got, or did they like help you hold someone down while you worked your magic?
I don't know. I think that's a question I'd throw to the other people.
I think I would probably help hold someone down if they were being like, resisting getting helped.
So you dragged him in from somewhere, did you?
I'd watch.
Yeah, probably. Like, if he was, not taking treatment, then I saw the altercation. I actually just walk up and just grabbed him by the scruff and just pulled him in towards the table and just hold him down.
Done. Who was that?
That was Templar, so that's what, +2, is it? Okay.
Yep. Was that was Jeanette, wasn't it?
What?
Jeanette was the person that Templar pulled in that time.
Sure. Who's Jeanette?
It's a
Jeanette,
background NPC.
NPC
Jeanette is
that you
NPC.
helped.
Yeah. Look, here's the thing you know about Jeanette is she's a local. She's from the Warren. She's not real smart. She's a teenager that she is.
What's the next question? Which one of you has been beside me all along and has seen everything I've seen?
Oh, that would have to be me, surely. Just like creeping. You don't know it, but I do.
Was it wrong to make tea and a beer at the
This
same
is not
time?
someone that you've shared good times and bad times with. It's whether.
Well,
Well, maybe it
wouldn't
is.
be there for
Maybe it
that.
is. Well, maybe that he's come in there and takes an interest in your work. How about that? The
Stands in the
charmer
corner, doesn't say anything.
the charmer occasionally comes into the clinic and it doesn't necessarily directly assist you, but will hand you a scalpel and things like that.
I was thinking more
And seems
Alabaster Grave, since it's, the whole bar and bouncer and kicking people out and stuff, and the doctor would be more.
Feeding him a line of work.
Someone's got to drink that
Yeah, your
wine
choice.
and gin.
you've
Mostly.
both been in the tournament for a while. So take Alabaster. Yep.
Yeah.
And occasionally he hooks you up with those bottle.
I still want to watch you work, though.
I don't have to be
Oh, yeah,
filling out
you
these
have-
stats, do I, to myself? This is for other people?
No. When it gets to you, we'll talk about you.
That's sweet. Get the fuck out of there, tea leaves.
Nice. That's all. Okay, so anything else we need to know about Herzdog's outlook?
He doesn't talk to other people much, but he talks to himself all the time.
Delightful.
Is that because he's a bit older, isn't he?
Yes.
Is he not all there?
He intelligence-wise, yes. Just
Little unhinged.
yeah, he's just not so caring about the world in general.
Okay. All right. let's talk about the Maestro D. So, Maestro, by the way, that's HX +1 with everyone else, because you keep an eye out. Even though you hate the world, you still, you know that one of these buggers you're gonna have to patch up sooner or later.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's very aware of everything that's going on. He just doesn't like to interact with it so much.
Okay. So, Maestro D, which of these others do you find the most attractive?
Which way do
Pajama.
you swing?
In terms of like physically or interest wise?
Could be
The answer
either,
can
I
be both.
guess.
What have we got? We got weirdo watches me sleep. No. Creepy doctor. I'm gonna go
Well, you've had a fair bit to do with
with
Doctor.
Joy because she's got a car.
Yeah, good choice.
She's got wheels.
You always
I need to get something in.
you always top up her drink when she comes in
Mhm.
a friendly way.
Nothing like drink driving. Hey, it's the future. We don't need these rules.
I don't know how many other cars on the road, so it's hard to crash into anything.
So just
Put
that
it this
one
way.
rock out the middle of nowhere because you miraculously hit it.
No
I
one,
mean,
no
like,
one is meant
wasn't like in Montana in the 30s, the only two cars in the state crashed into each other.
So she's the most attractive, but which one's actually your favourite?
My favorite. Who else have I got? No cracks. So that was.
It's just like, no, not the fucking weirdo.
I think it's probably going to be Nob or Freeze's character. I just don't know which one I want to go with. It's because they both come to my bar and they spend money, but which one's going to spend more money?
You know that Scarlett's pumping you for information.
Yeah, I feel like I would. So I'm going to go with the doctor because he doesn't talk much and he just drinks.
But he drinks a fair bit, but he never causes trouble.
Yeah, that's it.
I was thinking it's more that I keep your clients from dying and allowing them to drink more.
Well, I mean,
Keeps you out of controversy.
Yep, that's fine. Because the last thing you need is controversy, because Kettle will come down on you about that.
that's right. Kettle and fucking Sledhammer.
Yeah, actually, Scarlett probably done a little bit of work for Kettle in the past. Have a think about what you might have done for Kettle.
You bitch. No more red whiskey for you. You can have red bourbon.
All right, for everyone else, you get +1. Let's talk about the driver.
Where do I fill that out? That's my character sheet. So is it? It's +3, +2, and then +1 for all others?
Yep.
So Joy is Joy, isn't it? Joy
Yep.
+3. What's your character called, Freeze? Dr. Slump?
Herzog Harrison.
Harrison it is. +2. Herzog.
What am I missing here?
And all.
Oh,
Awesome.
okay. The driver. Which one of the others got the driver out of some serious shit once?
I think it was that time that the van played basically like an ambulance, and I had to drop someone that was basically dying off at Herzog's place. And you know, it's bad for business to have someone die in the back of your car.
And that was a friend of yours, wasn't it? That you dropped off?
I would say so. That would be that'd be Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy's a local. Rudy's usually based out of the Warren, but you'd taken him on a run, hadn't you, to the south?
Damn, Phil got himself bit by something.
Yeah, there's wildlife. There's an area down south called the Stacks. And the wildlife there is vicious. It's like the ruins of what was once it was once like an industrial city, and now there's just wildlife that prowls it all. All right. What about who have you taken on a run before? Who have you taken with you?
Has anyone had to go out of the Warren at all? Because she would take people out on drives out of the city.
Probably if Nob's character would go out of it. He's a mercenary, isn't he?
Yeah.
Taking Scarlet on a run?
Where would you have gone, Scarlet?
She can't tell you, or she'd have to kill you. Dun dun dun.
Maybe you hired her as security for a run to August.
I imagine there are other bandits and stuff on the way.
Yeah, well, you were just transporting something a bit, and you'd got a bit of a skeezy feeling from your weather eyes, so you'd hired some extra security for a run. But you might not have hired her again, or you didn't. She didn't impress you, or you just thought she was a bit too incautious.
Yeah, she was hanging out the window shooting at anything that moved.
Made you too visible. Okay, and who have you caught sometimes staring out at the horizon?
Would I have seen the Charmer at all doing that, or would you have been hidden the whole
No,
time?
I and hidden.
Doesn't stare at the distance. There's a people.
I stare at the distance as well. I stare at everything. I can't stop staring.
Maybe you could. Maybe you have met Templar at the edge of town once or twice.
Templar, would you have needed something delivered or needed a ride anywhere?
Maybe you brought Templar to town.
I'm thinking maybe you picked me up on the way. Because maybe I was just on foot.
And maybe sometimes I catch you staring back towards the north.
Yep, I would be. That would be where the whole sad eyes come in. If I'm not fighting, I'm thinking, and when I'm thinking, it's usually terrible thoughts.
Okay. All right, take -1 HX with everyone else. You're not one for close ties with most people because you keep moving.
Cool.
Okay, finally, Templar. So we'll do this, and then we'll just have a quick chat, and then we'll finish up. Templar, who wants? You can ask. You see those 3 questions there?
Yeah, I'm thinking the first and third one would work best here because I don't think I would have been long enough for the second one to really apply.
That's fine. Just ask the others those questions.
Oh, come on. Got to be number 1 for the Charmer. Seriously.
Which one of you once left me bleeding and did nothing for me?
Yeah.
That'd be the Charmer.
Either it was the Charmer or it was Alabaster, actually.
Ooh.
Hey,
I'm
what do I do?
thinking, given that there was like a reputation going around that I bring trouble, that some patrons didn't take a liking to me.
No, it wasn't a patron. It was Fist.
Okay, Fist.
It was
Yeah.
Fist, his bouncer.
So Fist didn't like me being there at all. He thought I was going to bring trouble. So when he asked me to leave, I basically just said no, piss off. And so it turned into like a bit of a scuffle. And he knows how to deal with troubling patrons more than I do apparently, and was able to catch me off guard.
Suckered you.
Yeah. So then I was
said something else there for a second.
on the floor out the front, bleeding, obviously. Then it was just all I saw in the inside while I was looking from outside was just Alabaster just watching it go down and not really saying anything about it, despite that I was going to be a paying customer.
Okay, and then you dragged yourself to the dock.
Yeah.
All right. But which one of them have you taken a shine to? Which do you think's the prettiest or the smartest?
Probably Joy, actually, considering that she gave me the lift. Actually, because that was like the first kind of act of kindness that I've had for a very long time. So I would have taken a liking to that.
What, the fact
Okay.
that I picked you up off the side of the road?
Instead of just, just driving past and just like not having a care in the world.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so what we've done there is we've established a bit of shared history with all your characters. If you've noted down all your hate checks, rather than jump straight into role-playing here, because it is getting late, what I will do is I will take these characters and I will take the what we've done off, and we'll have a look. I'll have a bit of a stare at that. And then when we get into the next session, we'll jump straight into of the Warren and the area that surrounds it.
Just quickly, I've got something down here. It says, at the end, choose one of your characters with the highest hate checks on your sheet. Ask that player which of your stats is the most interesting and highlight it. The MC will have you highlight a second stat too.
That's true. We will do that, but we will do that at the start of session because it's better to do it at the start of session than you've still got them in your mind. What that highlighted means is the character that you've got the hate checks with, we'll pick one of your stats that they find the most interesting. And during that session, whenever you roll that stat, you'll get an experience point.
Right.
Like it might say, oh, this week I want to see the sharp side of the Doctor, or this week I want to see, even though it's got no truck with the weird, I want to see her open her brain to it. That'll be how that works. And that will sort of just guide your role play a little bit for a session. That doesn't mean you're going to sit there and just like keep spamming rolls. Just keep that in the back of your mind that it'll help you grow as a person by exercising those. Make sense?
Right.
Cool.
Cool. Right. Thanks, gents. Let's just have a look at our dates here. Some of you said Wednesdays is best. Is that correct?
No, I can't do Wednesdays. So.
All right. Which other night is good for people?
Tuesday's good for me.
Not for me, unfortunately.
What about the Mondays we don't pathfind?
That works, actually.
Cool with me.
Yeah, every
I
alternate
can't do
Monday
this
sounds-
Monday, but that's pretty much it. So I'm going to go see a movie.
That's all right.
It's like a
The
motion.
next session then will be the next session will be the 29th.
29th.
Cool. Okay, and we will I'll put that up in the chat. And we will go from there. All right, let's kill our broadcast.